You might be wondering why Marx keeps coming up in UPSC sociology questions and how to remember his big ideas without getting lost in jargon. By the end of this video, you will be completely clear about Marx's core concepts and how to use them in answers. I'll keep this simple and visual so you can picture Marx's theory as a machine with parts that fit together. And towards the end, we will understand a key idea that most UPSC aspirants miss. First, think of society as a building, where the foundation is the economy and the floors above are politics, law, and ideas. Marx calls this the base and superstructure. The economic base includes forces of production like tools, technology, and labor, and relations of production, which are the social rules about who owns and who works. Imagine the base as a tractor and a field. The tractor lets you farm more, but who owns the tractor decides who keeps the harvest. A mode of production is simply the whole farming system, primitive, feudal, capitalist, where the same tractor can mean very different social rules. Historical materialism says material and economic conditions shape social life more than ideas alone, and contradictions in the base drive social change. Contradiction means the forces develop faster than the relations can handle, like new machines needing different rules, producing crises that push society into a new mode of production. For example, industrial technology created factories, which clashed with feudal relations and helped bring capitalism into being. Now the vital classroom term, class. Marx defines classes by their relation to the means of production, essentially who owns and who sells labor. In capitalism, the bourgeoisie own capital, the proletariat own only their labor power, and that structural difference produces exploitation and conflict. Surplus value is the extra value workers create over what they are paid as wages. That surplus is the source of capitalist profit and the root of exploitation in Marxian analysis. Alienation ties into this. Workers become separated from the product, the process, their species being, and other people as labor is commodified. Picture a craftsperson who makes a single meaningful item versus a factory worker tightening one bolt all day. That loss of meaningful work is alienation. Marx also uses dialectics. Social change emerges through conflicts and their resolution, not through tidy linear progress. So expect conceptual questions that ask about contradiction and change. Division of labor shows how specialization increases productivity but can also narrow workers' roles and deepen alienation. Braverman later argued management intensifies this by de-skilling work. Let's connect these ideas to UPSC. This concept is very important for your Sociology Optional and for general studies answers on social change, development, and inequality. In Mains, questions often ask you to analyze social change, class conflict, or the role of ideology. Using Marx's base superstructure framework can give structure and depth to your answers. A short exam tip. Always link theory to an example. Landowners and serfs in feudalism, factory owners and workers in capitalism, or automation and employment today. Now a quick roadmap to remember. Forces of production, tools, tech, skills, relations of production, ownership, property, base influences superstructure, contradictions cause change. Remember the fourfold alienation from the 1844 manuscripts: product, act of production, species being, and fellow humans. A concise line you can drop into answers for credit. Keep two phrases handy: surplus value to explain exploitation, and it is not the consciousness of men that determines their being, to show how social being shapes ideas. Critics matter too. Economic reductionism, overemphasis on conflict, and the role of non-class sources of power are common counter-arguments you should mention to get balanced answers. Contemporary thinkers like Dahrendorf and Weber complicate Marx by pointing to authority structures and cultural forces, so show nuance in essays by naming one critic and a rebuttal. For UPSC, a strong answer links Marxian insight to current examples, corporate concentration, gig economy exploitation, or debates on property and welfare that show relevance. Quick summary. Marx gives you a toolkit: base and superstructure, forces and relations, class, surplus value, alienation, dialectics. Use this toolkit to analyze social problems. One exam trap many aspirants fall into is memorizing definitions without connecting them. We'll fix that by showing how to weave concepts into short arguments you can write under time pressure. Practice applying one concept per answer paragraph. State the concept, explain in one line, give a contemporary example, and end with an evaluative sentence. That structure scores well. Before we close, remember the key idea many miss. The base-superstructure relation is interactive. The superstructure can stabilize or retard change, so avoid claiming mechanical economic determinism. That nuance lets examiners know you understand Marx's complexity and helps you respond to likely follow-up prompts about culture, law, or politics shaping outcomes too. You're now ready to sketch Marx in an answer. Define, visualize with the tractor or factory image, give surplus value and alienation examples, add a critic, and conclude with relevance. Keep practicing this structure and your answers will become crisp, analytical, and exam ready. You've already taken the hardest step by clarifying the concepts. If you want a one-page cheat sheet with these images, examples, and a few model sentences, keep learning with EduRev, where we break topics into short, answer-ready modules. Good luck! Stay curious, keep practicing application, not mere memorization, and join us on EduRev to master more thinkers and score higher in UPSC.